In today's experiment, we are going to be answering the question, who would win in an all-out battle? The legend himself, the one true Roach King, Asmongold? Or the name that gets brought up so often you'd think he was paying people, Hassan Piker. Disclaimer. This video is purely for shits and giggles. I've got zero beef with anyone mentioned. I'm just here to clown around. If this somehow offends you, please untwist your underwear, take a deep breath, and stop crying like a baby before you unleash a novel in the comments. Both Asmongold and Hassan's channel will be linked in the description, as well as all the music in this video. Enjoy. Here's the map we'll be using for today's experiment. It's a nicely balanced layout with equal resources on both sides, giving both Asmongold and Hassan's kingdom an even shot at expanding and developing their territories. We're going to start by placing Asmongold and his people on the map first. Since Asmongold currently has a little over 4 million subscribers, he will be starting with 40 loyal roaches by his side, giving him a slight early game advantage. Meanwhile, on the other side, we'll place Hissan and his squad of gooners. And since Hissan only has 1 million and change subscribers, he will be starting with 10 gooners, putting him at a noticeably early disadvantage. Now to hand out the traits. After years of chugging ungodly amounts of soda and bravely refusing to shower, Asmon has completely evolved to full poison immunity and a thick protective roach grade hide. So we're going to focus on those core traits, along with the obvious ones like genius, wise, and strong-minded. Now it's time to assign traits to Hissan and his gooners. If you spent even a little bit of time on YouTube watching Hissan, you've probably already got a good idea. So we'll be giving him a few obvious traits like stupid and deceitful, but the real standout trait is energized, thanks to his newfound powers of electricity. Now all we have left to do is to rename the two kingdoms and let this simulation run. If we take a look at Asmongold and his roach colony, we can see they've quickly constructed a warehouse as well as a campfire, then immediately began exploring and surveying the surrounding area. They appear to be working together efficiently and cohesively, which gives a good indication of how their settlement will continue to operate moving forward. Meanwhile, Hissan and his gooners have set up their own warehouse and campfire. They're technically getting things done, but everyone seems to be wandering off in their own direction. They look isolated, awkward, and not exactly thrilled to be around each other. So I'm curious how that will play out later. I wonder if we're looking at the early signs of some internal conflict. But regardless, we're gonna let 50 years pass and then check back in on Asmongold and his roach colony, as well as Hissan and his gooners, to see what they've managed to accomplish. We've reached the year 50 and both the roaches and gooners have expanded significantly. However, the roaches are clearly in the lead. They've doubled the gooners' population and nearly doubled their territory as well. It's no surprise that Asmongold, with his initial head start of 40 roaches, has led his colony far more efficiently. As we take a look at Asmongold's kingdom, we can see they've constructed extensive housing and infrastructure. Multiple towns have been established, complete with early paved roads and sturdy buildings. They clearly haven't wasted a single one of these 50 years. They've developed windmills, farms, and even the mines that the children so longingly yearn for. Altogether, they've built an impressive foundation for a powerful future empire. Meanwhile, on the other side of the wall, Hissan and his gooners are definitely struggling. Their housing situation looks like they barely tried, just the most basic buildings they could possibly slap together. Although they have upgraded their town halls, but that mostly just shows Hissan prioritizing his own comfort while the gooners fend for themselves. There are no real advancements like roads or meaningful infrastructure. Still, they're making some progress. Not anywhere near Asmongold's pace, but at least they're trying. We're gonna fast forward to the year 500, giving them half a millennium to advance their kingdoms, and then we'll check back in to see how far they've come. Not just 65 years shy of the year 500, the Gooners have suddenly split into 3 separate factions, a clear sign of deep-seated distrust. Looking closer, we can already see 2 of these factions clashing violently. One can't help but wonder how they'll stand a chance against the sheer might of Asmongold's empire if they can't even cooperate amongst themselves. As the battle drags on, the Gooners are achieving nothing but decimating their own military and destroying the valuable resources they've spent 500 years gathering. This blatant distrust among the faction leaves everyone wondering, what on earth is Hissan doing while his people spiral into such chaotic self-destruction? As we examine the different Gunnar factions, we can see most of their resources remain intact, and the northern faction appears to be cooperating reasonably well with the main group. Overall, things are in fairly decent order, with some improvements visible on their houses, though there's still a surprising lack of roads connecting them. Their development plan remains unclear, yet they've managed to build multiple ports and a surprisingly formidable navy despite the lack of structure and organization. It's hard to say whether they'll be able to recover and stand any real chance against Asmongold and his roach colony. Looking at Asmongold's stats, we can see that his military alone dwarfs the entire Gunnar population. With 5 villages and nearly 2,000 roaches under his command, he clearly demonstrates the skill of a resourceful king who has earned the loyalty and respect of his massive following. Looking over Asmongold's empire, it's nothing short of remarkable. His settlements are well established, his navy is formidable, and every house continues to improve steadily. The roaches are not only thriving, but highly efficient in their farming and resource gathering. Under the leadership of the Roach King himself, Asmongold, they have claimed every inch of available land. With such strong foundations, there's little doubt they are destined for continued success and prosperity in the years to come. As we fast forward another 500 years, both kingdoms will continue to grow and develop, but when the 1,000 years are finally up, the wall will come down, and the full might of the Roach army will be unleashed on the unfortunate and helpless Gunnars. Having reached the year 1000, the Roach colony had grown stronger and more cunning than ever, while the Gunnars have forged their fractured factions into a single force. As the wall falls down, the fate of the future now rests in the hands of these two kings, whose choices will no doubt reshape the world. As our gaze stretches across the battlefield, we see no open ground, only cities standing like silent witnesses. Neither side yet understands the terror that is about to descend upon them. All we can do now is hope they are prepared for what approaches. The battle erupts instantly, with the Gunnars fracturing into 4 different factions. The Roach colony wastes no time exploiting the chaos. Rallying their forces, they surge into the heart of Gunnar territory, seizing control of Hassan's capital. Though the colony has crushed the greatest threat, 3 rival factions still remain, each one a dangerous obstacle that must be eliminated. On the northern front, the Roach colony swiftly moves, annihilating the northern threat. One of the Gunnar siege towers falls, and a section of their navy is now destroyed, and 2 crucial reinforcements have been cut off. Meanwhile, the colony sweeps through one of the 2 southern factions, leaving the remaining Gunnars scrambling in a desperate defense. Just as abruptly as it began, the battle ends. With the Roach colony in full control, victory is theirs. Even if this is just a silly simulation, we shouldn't forget the lives lost and everything that was sacrificed. The Gunnars may have been stupid and deceitful, yet it's hard not to feel sympathy for the needless conflict between these 2 streamers. Yet they may clash on nearly everything. There's one truth we can all agree on. We all want to live. So let's set aside our differences, agree to disagree in peace, and keep farming all that juicy content for us to gobble up.